Do y'all ever have a okay God moment? Like, okay God, okay, I am honored and flattered that you think I am one of your strongest soldiers, but God, my God, that is literally me right now. Like, I'm frustrated, but I'm not defeated. So today is Monday. On Friday, Kennedy and I were out running around doing a few things, and just so happened, Jessie never drives Kennedy's car. Ever, never, ever. Like, she didn't pull all the way up in the driveway, so he got in her car. We were not at home. He got in her car to move her car. Mind you, this was Friday. Kennedy hadn't driven her car since she got home from work on Thursday night. He got in a car to move the car, and the steering wheel, like, it was something going on with the steering wheel or whatever. I don't know. Something. So he instantly ordered the part to change on the car. It said that the part wouldn't be here till Sunday, which was fine. She didn't have anywhere to go. Last night he put the part on the car and it worked. I just got coffee in my eye, bro. Hold on right quick. All right, I'm back. So he put the part on the car, and he told me, he said, I'm about to get all of this stuff together and I'll be in the house. He comes back, he said the part went out again. So instantly we knew that there had to be something, because it was something with like the fuse box or the something. It had to be something going on with the car that's causing the fuse to keep blowing. It's Thanksgiving week, by the way. Today is Monday, which means Kennedy has class today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then they're out Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving. So my baby had to go to class this morning. I am actually on my way back to school to pick her up. If you know anything about having a teenager, or anybody period, because I don't like being dropped off and picked up, baby, I'm trying to be there before her class ends, because I don't want my baby to ever have to stand and wait on me to pick her up. But I'm not defeated. Kennedy asked me this morning, she was like, are you mad? I'm like, there's nothing I could be mad about. Like, it is what it is. But I do feel like, I was telling Jessie last night, I do feel like it's always something, very much something, and it's exhausting. Like, you know, but I try to find the silver lining in everything. And he and I were talking last night, and we both said, like, my baby could have been anywhere driving a car, and I am thankful. And, you know, I know God makes everything happen for a reason, because he, like I said, the only time he ever gets in Kennedy's car is like every other Saturday he'll wash our cars, but this was on a Friday. So just the idea that he got in a car because she didn't pull up, you know. So I am thankful. It could have been worse, but my goodness. It's like, I don't feel like, I feel like every time one issue is resolved, here comes something else. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's so funny because Patricia Shriver made this book called Life Interrupted, like navigating the unexpected, y'all. The book was like in this ottoman that we had in our room, and the ottoman broke like a couple weeks ago. So Jessie was cleaning the ottoman. Like, it was a lot of my books were stored in the ottoman. And he said, do you want me to put this stuff in the attic? And I went through the books, and I got that book out, and the book has been sitting on my dresser for like the past 2 weeks, because I was like, I'm gonna read it again. Y'all see, it's in my car, because I don't know like how long I'm gonna be sitting out here waiting on Kennedy or whatever. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot, but I trust God. I trust that, you know, what might feel like frustration to me might be God's protection. Well, not might be, is God's protection, because otherwise the point of it is that my baby wouldn't have had a reason to drive that car again until Monday morning, when she would have been on her way to school. Something, a fuse or whatever, going out and causing her not to be able to maneuver the steering wheel in the middle of her driving. She's a new driver, like, you know, so I know that my frustration is God's protection, and I trust God enough to know that, you know, it's all gonna work out. God never not works it out, but I'm still human, and it doesn't make it any less frustrating. But I trust God. Okay, I'm back. That was real quick because I done made it back to campus, and I'm just waiting on her to get out of class. But anyways, y'all, let me show y'all. See, this is what I love about God. And child, listen. Let me show y'all what I just came across on TikTok. Hold on.
Looking to God. Let go and let God. Just surrender it all to God. Consider it handled. How am I actually supposed to just give it over to God? It feels like no one is really breaking down what that means or how exactly to do it. Let me tell you what surrender has looked like in my real everyday life, because it's not just a cute Pinterest quote, which it is, okay? But it's also like a whole heart posture. I gotta set this down. I came prepared with notes, okay? So write this down. Step 1, I stopped trying to control the outcome of literally everything and just telling God, like, okay, God, if this goes awry, I need to still trust you. It's not easy. Okay, it's not easy, but that's surrender. It's releasing the need to control and know everything and know how everything's gonna pan out and just choose peace over panic. Step 2, I give him my emotions, not just the situation. Big difference. I'll be like, God, here's my anxiety, here's my disappointment, here's my frustration. I'm not just giving you the problem, I'm giving you how it makes me feel. Step 3, I pause before reacting, okay? So it's
y'all, that is what I love about God. So very early on, yes, I am charging my microphone. Don't judge me. But one of the things I learned very early on, and what was really frustrating in my walk with Christ, was I felt that I lacked discernment, and I also had an issue with, how can I say this? I also had an issue with determining if the voice that I was hearing was God's voice or my own voice or my own thoughts, if that makes sense. And so I had to learn how to pray for those things that I lacked, because that was actually, for me, hindering my relationship with God. Because I would just get frustrated. I'm like, okay, well, I thought this is what God told me to do. So, like, you know. And so one of the things that I learned, y'all ever seen that meme that say, like, oh, if God want me to do something, he gonna have to come and sit on the edge of my bed? Like, I feel like that's how God communicates with me. Everything with my communication with God is almost like extremely dramatic, if you will. Meaning that God literally, especially when I find myself getting off track, like God puts me in situations where I know that it is only, like, it's no question as to whether or not it's God. So let me tell you what happened. Warning, this is probably going to be just a video full of me yapping. The other night, I'm laying in the bed, and I heard God tell me clear as day, because remember, I can't sleep. And you know, typically, if you are having problems with sleeping, you need to be conversing with God, right? So I heard God tell me clear as day, you have not really been in your word as much since you've had this procedure. And I was like, okay. Instantly, when the word came to me, I got sleepy, and I was like, all right, so starting tomorrow, like, I need to get back into, like, my devotionals, read my Bible, whatever. And I didn't, like I should. I'm not going to say I didn't altogether, because I never stopped, like, indulging in the word of God, but not as much as I should, right? And so little things just kept happening. Like, I felt like I was getting frustrated with my healing process with the hysterectomy, because I've seen people's testimony, people that I know, you know, oh, they had the hysterectomy, and then a week later they were perfectly fine, they were back at work, they were, you know, and I felt like, and so I was just getting frustrated with that. And one of the things that I've struggled with, just honestly, in addition to what I just told you, one of the things that I've struggled with my relationship with God is the spirit of gossiping. I can gossip like nobody's business. Not just gossiping, my mouth. Like, one of the things that I struggle with altogether in my walk with God is my mouth. The spirit of gossiping, and I have said this multiple times, I can curse with the best of them, child. And it's not something that I'm proud of. It is literally something that I have worked on forever. What I know now where I am is that most of the time the area that you struggle the most with is where you're gonna find your calling. I've said this many times on my channel that I have always been the go-to person for everybody. I have always been the, you always give good advice. You're such a good friend. Let me call Latricia. She'll know that. Like, I've always been that person. And so if I'm not using my gift the way God wants me to use it, it can become a burden, right? All right, so all of this is going to tie in. So the other night, Kennedy and I were laying in the bed. We had spent the entire day in the bed together watching TV. And I forgot what I said, but whatever it was, and this is what I love about my children. I was talking about somebody. I was gossiping. And Kennedy goes, Mama, I'm going to tell you when you're wrong and you're wrong. And she said, I'm not about to join you with talking about them because I don't need God making no example out of me. And I'm not going to say what I was talking about the person, what I was talking about. But just know that what I'm dealing with this morning is literally what I was talking about with this person, right? And so I told Kennedy, I said, you're right. And so that's why I said, like, sometimes when God has to correct me or God has to communicate something with me, it's always in the most dramatic fashion. Like, that's just what it's come to and what I've accepted it to be. And so I realized the other night, or not even the other night, last night, because in me going through all of this, God convicted me. Like, you keep asking me, why do you keep going through the same stuff? Why you keep going through this? And it's because you have yet to pass not one test. Like, I can tell you, I'm telling you what I know my hindrance is with my relationship with God. Yet here we are, and I know exactly why I keep going through some of the same things, because last night, hold on, clear as day, I'm walking to the kitchen in the middle of the night. The whole house is asleep. I'm going to get a snack, something I ain't got no business doing, literally like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. And God said, you cannot do what everybody else does because your calling is not their calling. And it was so funny because the other day when Kennedy checked me, I remember laughing with her and I said, girl, people talk about people all the time. I said all of that to say, this is how God talks to me. I literally had just, when I was leaving the house, I just said to y'all, like, I know that, as much as I'm frustrated, I know that, this is God's protection. I trust God enough to, whatever it is. And as I get to the stop sign, I mean, I shouldn't have been, but that's what popped up, that TikTok. And like I said, God literally have to put it in my face for me to get it. But I hope that helps somebody, because that's like me being transparent. Is he skateboarding in the class? All right, have a good practice. See you this afternoon. Hey friend, I'm back. So I just dropped Dylan off to football practice. Since it is Thanksgiving break, they have football practice because they are still in the playoffs. So this week is round 3 of the playoffs. I think they're down to 8 teams, I believe. See, I'm learning football stuff. But so they have practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They have practice on Thanksgiving morning. And then for Thanksgiving, Kennedy and Dylan are going out of town with their dad. They'll stay the night out of town, like, to visit their family. And then and spend Thanksgiving with their family, with their dad's family out of town. And then after that, they are coming home on Friday morning, I believe, and the game is Friday afternoon. Hey, y'all, look at Seven Brew. Look, I know I showed y'all in the other vlog, but look what we got. Let's see. I know the people behind me like, girl, please. Y'all see? We got a building. We got some dirt. We got a driveway. I'm so excited. And y'all, come to find out, I have been talking about why hadn't they started building the actual building. Y'all, why the Seven Brew buildings are not built. They are delivered. They actually, is that place open? Oh, they actually delivered the building like maybe a week ago. Be right back. Let me go drop this off. Alright, I'm back. It was packed in there. Like, my goodness. And there are packages everywhere. Like, it's, I don't know. Only thing I could see is that it's okay. Only thing that I could see is that it's a lot of people, because people are off the week of Thanksgiving. Like, that gives, I don't know, child. What's going on? So for dinner tonight, we are having sandwiches, but we are getting like deli meat. I only get deli meat from the local grocery store, but we're doing regular sandwich bread. But I want the honey wheat bread, and I only eat honey wheat bread, the Great Value honey wheat bread. So I already know Walmart is ridiculous, but hopefully it's not that bad if all I'm going in there to get is bread. So let's go in Walmart. Alright, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I went into Walmart, grabbed the bread. I just got bread and chips out of Walmart, and then I ran into the grocery store and I got I didn't realize it until the guy at the deli was like, "You're gonna be eating turkey in a few days," and I'm like, yeah, probably. Didn't really think about that, but I still want the Cajun turkey. So I got spicy Cajun turkey and Cajun roast beef. I just get like a half a pound of each. And we already have cheese and, oh, I forgot to get lettuce. Oh well, I'm not going back in the store. We just not gonna have lettuce. Let me ask him, cause let me ask. I don't feel like getting out. I don't feel like getting out again. Like, I'm ready to go home. Hey, I forgot to get lettuce. Do we need lettuce?
No, not really.
You sure? Because I'm still in the parking lot at Ross's.
I mean, you can get shredded lettuce.
Alright, I'm going to go back in.
You don't have to get it. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. Don't worry about that.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to run back in. It's not that many people in there.
There's no problem.
Okay. Alright, I love you. Bye. Oh, great. No lettuces. I wanted to do lettuce, but I could have got tomatoes. You know what? Since I'm not cooking, I am about to go back in there. I know he said don't worry about it, but I'm going to get shredded lettuce and I'm going to go get a tomato. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, and before I get out and before I forget, I started taking my hair out. So like the whole middle of my hair is out. So all right, so I done made it home. I went back in. I got the lettuce, got the tomato. But y'all, I think I told y'all in the other vlog that my husband put the tree up because obviously I couldn't help with no tree this year, okay? But today, the tree is a pre-lit tree, but he put the ornaments on it. I wanted to go very minimal last year with the ornaments because JC is in her, she's a toddler. So we did the same thing this year. We just did gold. I actually was going to add like smaller accents of red, but I think we just going to leave it at gold. Before I show y'all my tree, do not judge me because we do not have a skirt. We will not have a skirt. We have a toddler, okay? Well, we do have a skirt. I'm not putting it on the tree. Let me say that. All right, so look. It's probably hard to see it because it is in the daytime. Normally we put garland on the stair rail, but of course, once again, we have a toddler. But look at this cute little thing my mother-in-law bought us for our tree. So it's like a little ladder, and then you go up the ladder, and it's a, see if I can zoom in. Zoom in. Now go up. And it's a Santa Claus at the top of the ladder. Like, super cute. I can't wait for her to get home and see it. So yeah. And then we have a wreath. I actually made this wreath myself like 2020. Like maybe our first Christmas in the house. I made it myself. Okay, girl. Okay, not the door that went all the way up. So we have the wreath hanging. And then, what else we did? So he put the decorations like garland. The garland on the fireplace actually lights up as well. And then we have garland up here with a few bows, and that lights up as well. So, shout out to my man who knew I could not participate. I couldn't hang up. I couldn't help with no tree. I couldn't decorate. Wasn't doing anything, and he did it, and it looks really nice. So I'm about to probably take me a shower if I can before Dylan gets out of practice. So. Good morning and welcome back to another day in the vlog, the last day in this vlog. As you can hear, I may or may not be coming down with something. I don't know. It's giving very much scratchy throat. I don't know. And then I woke up earlier this morning when Jesse was getting ready for work, and it sounded like I was losing my voice. I don't know. Today is Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I'm actually headed. It is 7:17. I am headed to take JC to therapy this morning. Typically on Wednesdays, she does have therapy in the morning before work, and the therapy sessions are actually earlier on Wednesdays. See, and she got a little cough. But they had a change in schedule due to the holiday weeks, which was perfectly fine by me. Dylan has football practice at 2:00 today, but we will be in bed all day today. The last couple days, not just because of me not feeling well, it's just been a lot. And I said it at the beginning of this vlog. I trust God. Like, whatever is going on, I trust God. Like, we're about to get breakfast. Here. So, yeah. All is well. I'm getting her hash browns down. And then therapy is literally, like, right across the street. Well, not across the street, but close enough. It'll be well after Thanksgiving by the time this is posted. But either way, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's able to find something to be thankful for. Even in the midst of a storm, there's always something that you can be thankful and grateful for. Y'all, before I get off of here, let me say this. Why? I was getting JC in the car this morning, and I kept saying I slipped on my shoes right before I left. I have on my New Balance 9060s. So I slipped on my shoes right before I walked out of the door. And I kept thinking, my left shoe feels like, maybe I got on the wrong sock or something. Y'all, I'm sitting at the red light a little while ago, and I realized I have on one of Kennedy's shoes and one of my shoes. Yeah. So, with that being said, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you have not already done so, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you girls next time. That's it. That's all. Bye.